This is our massive range right here. This is our low, and this is our high. These are sweeping levels, right? These are very big time levels. So if you get moves within these zones, there are areas for you to bid or to sell. So if you look at this, swept this low right here, which is why we got long yesterday, right? We got a small little bounce right here. Our hope is that on this 4 hour, we actually hold this support right here. So it could go a little bit lower, but you don't want to see a close under 64.35. So your stop losses on the 4 hours should be anything below, I'd say 64.1, just to give it some room to breathe, right? So no closes below here. If you're feeling really ambitious because you didn't size up that high, I'd say under 64 is fair too, you know? So under 64 is not bad. That's below this wick right here. Ideally, it closes below here, you just get out because we're most likely going to that weekly level that we talked about, which is around this 60K area. And it might wick into this 59, right? 59 and a half or so. We do want to see prices hold here because we do want to see a spike up, a little bit of relief towards the end of the week. You're getting long at the range lows because we established that this is the large range right here, low, highs. So at the range lows, what do you want to do? Even though it seems scary, even though everyone's trembling, even though you see people betting 100 million, the vibes are atrocious, everyone's fucking upset with each other. Typically, you want to bid these levels, right? Is it going to work every single time? Probably not. Let's go to ETH. ETH looks a little bit better for many different reasons. One being that they're no longer getting prosecuted, right? So I guess that's always a positive. The chart itself looks much better than Bitcoin. I don't know how long that's going to last, which also gives me hope that Bitcoin's probably going to bounce right here. Because remember, Bitcoin is at basically right here, right? Like right at the lows, and it looks like it's going to bounce. While ETH, this is a level reclaim, right? So if you're looking at this on other time frames, this is price bottoming, coming up, breaking above this level, coming back down to retest it as support. So on even lower time frames like the hourly, probably the 4 hour, the 2 hour, definitely the 30 minutes, right? You're seeing prices kind of flip this level. So these are good signs, right? These are confluent to your long setups because you understand that the market moves correlated together. So if ETH looks good, Bitcoin's at support, the last thing that you want to be doing is shorting, right? The last thing that you want to do is short support at a major level while everything seems to be giving you that retest into a potential move up. 4 hour chart, your target is actually right here. I know that it's easy to just say like, oh dude, let's just target here, right? Because typically break down and you get this thing right here. If it breaks up, it's probably going to go to new highs, right? But this is one trade. This is trade number 2 right here. So if you break up above here, this is trade number 2. So I want you to think about having not just one big swing trade, but having 2 smaller trades that encompass one whole swing trade, right? That's going to help you a lot more when you're executing on lower time frames. Instead of, oh, you know, I'm just going to hold my position as a swing. You want to divide this into 2 different setups, right? So you long 34.50 right here. This is one trade. It reclaims this level. This is 2 trades. And what you're missing is probably this area right here. You're missing 2%. Solana, so lost this level, it nuked a little bit further. It makes sense to buy it within this area, which is that 133 to 136. We're hoping that this becomes a higher low, push up to maybe 144, and then make its way up to the top of this range right here, which is around 160s, like maybe 162. We'll see as prices develop. We might take profit a little bit sooner just because of how weak Solana has kind of looked over the last couple days. I'm not sure if it has the same amount of juice as Ethereum might. Okay, so we might be taking profit a little bit sooner, maybe like 150s, 155. We'll see. Obviously, you're wrong if you get a 4 hour close below 132, right? So 132, 4 hour close, get the fuck out. Okay, because yeah, it could come down here, but the problem is this is the first test of this level, so we're expecting a bounce, and if it's not bouncing here and it comes back down here, dude, it might literally just come back to 100 or maybe under 100. We don't really want that. Should bounce here. Let's look at some meme coins, right? So with weekly breakdown, a trade is present if we reclaim this level, right? This is a weekly time frame. So if you can reclaim 250, that's a good trade setup. On the daily, with the same logic, you're looking at 222. On the 12 hour, you're looking at 218. So 218 reclaim lends itself to be a really good setup. Alternatively, you can also buy right here, which is right. So if it can come down a little bit lower to the 170, yeah, like 170s, 180s, that's also a good buy. So those are your two entries right now. Yes, you could buy right here and stomach the fact that it could come down to 180, 175. You can position accordingly. So there's multiple ways that you can approach this, right? Maybe if your position size is $1 million, you only enter 100K right here and you stack 900K in bids right here. That way you have a decent starting position. And then if it reclaims 218, that's your second setup, right? This level right here. So you have 1, 2. Right now it's kind of in this no man's land. I understand that there's a $2 round number psychological factor that plays a role. If you'd like to place a bid on that, I don't think it's a terrible idea because again, Solana looks like it is at an area where we do want it to bounce, right? Because if not, it's probably going to this like $118, which, you know, probably doesn't look that great. And let me quickly explain why I chose this area. Reason why I'm looking at this and not really this and not really this and not really this is because this was the start of the consolidation, right? So you had an uptrend. This was where prices kind of based before it got sent to all-time highs, right? Yes, there's more consolidation here. Yes, there's more consolidation here, but this is the first one. And when it's the first one, it's also the last one, right? Because first in, last out, that's just kind of how it works on the way down. So I don't think this is a bad idea to place bids, right? This goes all the way up to like 180, but it can go as low as 140. I just don't think it's going to go down there on the first try. I like WIF. If there was a meme coin that you had to buy that's available on centralized exchanges that will be here for at least a couple months and not just a day, I think WIF is a good pick. ENS. I'm pretty sure that ENS probably goes up to 40 something bucks at some point. The weekly looks amazing. On the 4 hour, you have level reclaims all across the board, right? What is this? Point of breakdown. Broke down, right? Formed a little tight range, broke up, retested, break up. What's this? Retest over the last couple days. This is probably going to go up. So I do like this chart. I think you buy anything down to 25. Anything down to 25.50. If you can get 25 on a crazy wick down, I think that's a good buy. I do like this. I do like ENS. ENS looking like it's performing well means that ETH is probably going to do well as well. So LDO kind of has the same story. It's a little bit more wicky than I'd like, but yeah, point of breakdown. The point at which prices break down, retest. This looks like it's probably going to go to, I mean, at least what, 270? Even if it's bearish, I think this is going to at least 270. We'll see what happens after that, but yeah, this looks pretty good too. 225 is where like you'd want to draw the line. So 220, yeah, 220 is the lowest. I know this is a large range, but it's on the 4 hour and it's an ETH beta, so the volatility is a little nuts. LDO is again a staking coin, and it's one of those things where it is better to hold. When I look at this chart, it doesn't look very friendly. It doesn't look very fun to trade. It looks very choppy. There's no clear trending moves that isn't also filled with chop. So even though this is a clear downtrend, it doesn't look that fun to trade, man. Yeah, I think I would go for one of the easier ones like ENS, very trendy, even ETH. Honestly, depending on your size, right? I think ETH might even be better. ETH to like 3,700 or so would be the equivalent. FET doing really well. Oh, dude. Okay, so tell me why I didn't trade this. What in the fuck? This is a great example of charting it out and then never fucking buying it. But yeah, FET looks good. I believe they're gonna rebrand into ASI. So if you're in FET, it's a pretty good thing. Yeah, look, it's a daily retest, which is why I had this level marked out. Dude, this is great. What you'd want to look for, again, 4 hour, is some type of pullback right here. Whether it's up here or maybe it's even up here, right? You're looking to essentially bid these levels, right? You see these levels that were established? These are your friends. The reason why a lot of people don't make money is because they'll buy these candles. And of course, I'm highlighting this because yes, in hindsight, this would have worked. Like if you bought this, it would have went up. You bought this, it would have went up. You bought this, it would have went up. You bought this, it would have went up, right? But what if it doesn't. And majority of the time, it fucking doesn't. So whenever prices pull back, if you have a plan, you're able to fire. If you don't have a plan, you're panicking because you fucking bought this coin and now you're underwater, you don't have the funds. And then by the time you're averaging in and you're buying more, you're over leveraged. So wait for the reclaim right here. That's your friend. If you don't buy this, maybe it pulls back down here. This is your friend. If it comes all the way up here because you missed fucking everything and then it, resettles right here, this is your friend as well. Obviously, the lower you buy it, the better. The less expansion it has, the better. But, make it a habit of viewing these pullbacks as opportunities instead of panic, instead of fear, instead of, oh no, my coins are fucked. The moment you can rewire the way you think and the way you approach the market, the more money you're gonna make because you're not thinking like everybody else. And yes, your stop loss would be below those consolidative lows, right? So if it consolidates, let's say right here, and the low is 146, your stop loss could be a close below 144, which is like 1.5%, right? Nothing crazy, but that's how I would approach it.